Hi everybody. The other day I was out here and I noticed that the basil seeds that I started a couple months ago have more than germinated, and I really need to cut some of this basil back. I did not realize that it had grown so tall, but we've been getting a lot of rain here, so I'm just coming out and I'll do a quick walk through, but I'm just going to snip a little bit of basil off, try and help some of these plants bush up a little bit. Got my Armenian cucumber here that has been doing pretty good. It's suffering a little bit. It's really hot. Temperatures have been in the 90s all day and in the upper 70s, upper 80s at best at night. Hopefully I'm not making you too dizzy here, because I really wasn't planning on making a video, but thought I would show you what the basil plants look like after just a couple of months here in sunny South Florida. If you see here, I've got a couple of bean plants that are a little thirsty. It's kind of an experiment putting them in this tiny little pot. They're actually producing though, so I'm not going to bother them too much. Just going to keep them watered, and hopefully I'll get quite a few beans like I got here on this one. And these are a half-runner pinto bean. Alright, so I got my scissors here. You'll see I got a couple of bugs having some feasts. I guess basil tastes pretty good. And I'm just going to snip these down pretty low. Stick them in my little basket there. Stole that one from the kitchen. That's really my fruit basket, but for some reason I can't find my harvest basket. It's never around when I need it, so I'll have to check with my husband and see what he did with it. Now I'm just gonna pinch these back. And these basils will make it through the summer, but I'll have to cut them back pretty hard. Like I said, the bugs are really enjoying them. Got a couple of poblano peppers behind them there. You see my collards there? I'm just kind of letting them hang out for the summer. Hopefully I can cut them back and get a couple more seasons out of them. Once September rolls around, I'll cut them back hard, and they are still producing some pretty nice leaves if you look up top here. So these guys have been hanging around with me for about 2 years now, and figure I might as well try it one more time and see if I can get another couple of harvests out of them before I dig them up. I'll be planting some more collards and kales, cabbage, all that good stuff in September once the weather starts to cool off a little bit. And I'm just going to cut this basil back. And I got another one over here. Got quite a bit of parsley there. It's ready too. But I really just plant the herbs for just in case I need them. I always have a nice supply of herbs in the kitchen, but I never can get enough basil. So I plant quite a few varieties. I don't really pay much attention to where I'm cutting because I know it's going to grow back. You have a lot of people that'll tell you to go the top of a node or the bottom of a node, or lots of different methods people use. For me, I just cut it. It's a plant. It's like hair. It's going to grow back. As long as you're not damaging the roots, you'll get plenty from it. Some of these basils you'll see are getting some seeds. They're starting to flower, so they're going to start making seeds. Don't care. Just chop them back. They'll grow back. The plant's whole purpose is to make seeds, so use your basil, cut it back, Use the seeds, use the flowers, use the leaves. This is a lemon basil. I don't really use much lemon basil, but it sure smells good. Probably will use it tonight. I'm gonna make some chicken. Since I have it, might as well use it instead of drying it. I typically just freeze my basil. This is just too much trouble for me to go through the drying process. I don't have a dehydrator. I don't like to turn my oven on and waste the energy trying to dry out leaves. So most of my herbs, I just stick them in a Ziploc bag, squeeze all the air out of them, and stick them in the freezer. Surprisingly, they do pretty good. That's all I'm going to cut off that one. This one's got quite a few flowers on it here. I don't know how well this one's going to taste, but that's okay. I'll just cut those off. Take those in the house. I left the kids in the house showering. Hopefully when I get back in, they'll be ready to help wash some of this basil and get it in a zippy. Sorry if the camera's moving around a lot. I don't have my husband here to hold on to it while I film and cut. I'm going to take a little walk here because my son actually planted some basil around the side here. Oh no, my pepper plant is really, really dry. This guy's been hanging around probably about 3 years. Got some bugs on there. You see? I thought it actually had died the last time we moved. And I came out and found lots of delicious peppers on it. So my husband's been eating those. So it's not a big deal if it dies this time. Here amongst these sweet potatoes, I got a little bit more basil that my son planted. Here's a nice weed. There's no shortage of weeds. Just yank them out when I see them. Snip off a little bit more here. Some sweet basil. Just put that there. That's pretty much all I came out here for today. I do have quite a bit of work to do. I haven't done a whole lot of work in the garden in the last couple days because, like I said, it's been raining. And just a couple more things that I started a couple weeks ago. Some okra and some corn. Lots of beans. We have lots of beans growing because we eat tons of them. If we don't have any broccoli, we eat beans. So it doesn't look like I need to do much in the way of tying up this cucumber today. So I'm just going to leave it be for another day. I've been pulling a lot of beans off these Italian early beans here. These are supposed to be bush beans. I've never grown this variety before, but it's not much of a bush. I do have quite a few beans in there, though. I pulled off about 100 beans the other day. Thought I was going to be sticking them in the freezer and saving them, but instead I threw them in a pot with a nice smoked turkey neck, cooked them up, and my husband and I ate them while the kids ate leftovers. They were yummy. So, gosh, looks like I really need to come over here and pick beans. It's not what I came out here for, but there's always work to do in the garden. if you're doing it right. Oh, broke that one. Picking beans is a two-hand job. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. You risk the chance of damaging your plants picking with one hand, because they really are fragile. So please don't pick up my dirty habit here. Come out, pick your beans with two hands. Save your plants. The more you pick them, the more beans they'll make for you. I really, really, really need to put the camera down and pick some beans. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to put the camera down for a moment, pick some beans, and I'll come back and show you guys what I got. Alright, so it's been about 5 minutes. That's what I've gotten off of these, maybe about 25 plants that are over there. And like I said, I've been pulling about 80 to 100 beans off every day. This has been a low day because it's really, really hot. The beans are really stressed. I've got a lot of flowers, so it's going to be a couple days before I start getting the large amounts that I've been getting off of there. But that's it. And like I said, I didn't come out to make a video today, but I just thought I'd do a quick once over. This garden this summer is really an experiment. It's really the first time in a long time that I've done a summer garden. And pretty much because I have to fight with the bugs a little too much, more than I like to. You see a nice little cantaloupe growing there, but you also see how much the bugs are enjoying my leaves. It's really hard to get a good crop with the bugs. Fortunate thing is, it's usually warm enough here year round that I can grow pretty much anything that I want year round. The hotter it gets though, of course I have to cut back on my cabbages, and collards can make it through because they don't go to seed as easily as some of the other brassicas, but that's the garden. It's a mess out here right now. I'll clean it up and I'll do my next video. Make it worth your while. Thanks for watching.